is bluffing so much and taking down pots that she's actually one of the most profitable players on the table so far because these other players are letting her do it. And look at this flop.
Wow. Wow.
Just flopping it with King 2 offsuit.
For Poetic Justice.
Choice. Unfortunately for him, this board is very bad, and Justice has the hammer lock on it with the nut flush now. Already was ahead, but look at poor Living. Look at Living. He already got cooler trips over trips, and now he's got second nut flush to nut flush. And when Justice raises this, the fact that the board is paired could help him get away from it. It's possible. But it is only 30 million, so... Oh man, Living, you are on a cooler.
The one card that could have possibly beat him in the entire deck in Poetic Justice's hand, and Poetic Justice grabs a very...
Poetic Justice is a first-time shark today. I've actually only... If I've seen Poetic Justice at a table before, it was once. I may have never played with Poetic Justice before. So I'm interested to meet this person at the tables today.
If you can't see, if you guys might be on mobile with a small screen, you can't quite make it out. Poetic Justice is our player in the back in the tie-dye bucket hat.
Yeah, tie-dye bucket hat.
His word throws a couple hundred bits our way in the chat with our hype train hitting level 2. You guys have been so generous today. Thanks to everyone for your support. All the bits and subs you throw to the channel actually help out Moosers and I, and they support us as we bring you this poker action this week. So thank you all so much for helping us out and supporting PokerStars VR, and to Fahim1019 as well for following the channel, keeping your eye on what's going on here every Saturday for High Stakes Saturday. Pocket 2s, pocket 6s, and a couple of aces with low and mid kickers. This ought to be a hell of a hand here, Moosers.
Yeah, ace 10 suited and 2 pocket pairs are going to see this flop for sure.
And Demexius gets his chips and gets out of the table.
Is that it? Are you all done, Demexius?
Oh,
I'm out. Nice. So he left. It looked like he left with 34 million. So that's 14 million chips that Demexius did not have before showing up today. That's how you do it. That's how you be a quick, efficient, loose cannon, making the most of your opportunity. Take the money and run. That is a great choice. Way to go, Demexius. The wine glass is still at 0.
Poetic Justice here checked the turn with trips on the board.
Yeah, so we've learned so far that he likes to slow play.
And a pot-sized bet, I think it's not going to get a call out of X Living. Just too scary with a low pair like that.
That's a good try. I mean, he could have made someone with a low pair like that think, well, he probably missed a draw and now he's bluffing, and so maybe I'll call with the 6s and be a hero, but it wasn't to be. So a little pot for Justice, getting on the board, getting his feet wet as a first-time shark. You never know. So, I mean, some people, even the sharks, could be nervous for sure. I know a lot of sharks go in and they're very nervous being on stream, letting everyone see how they play, and you know, just at the risk of this many chips at one time, knowing that they could all go in one hand. For some of the sharks, you know, the money you see on the table is a very big portion of their bankroll. I don't know exactly for any of these players what it is, but I know some people put a lot of their chips on the table.
This is another really tough hand here. Astrocade at the under the gun 1 spot, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, Moosers. Dominated right now with ace 3 to Poetic Justice ace 10. He's going to flop top pair, which heads up feels good, but is really, really rough here. Very, very low chance for him to pull this one out.
The only way he can get anything out of this now is Jack comes and they split. Otherwise, this is going to Poetic Justice here with his 2 pair. And Jack can split it for him.
By the way, our next loose cannon coming up is Coop Sereno. So if you guys didn't know, we've got a rotating series of loose cannons coming in. A good laydown there, by the way. As Poetic Justice does take it down with the best hand 2 pair. We do have a rotating stream of loose cannons. I wish we had that fancy pot tracking software that I've seen on some other poker shows, because my gosh, I think a high percentage of today's pots have gone straight to the chip pile for Travel Bug Haley.
Yeah, maybe someday we'll get advanced stats features in there to access or something, but for now we'll just do it in our heads.
That's right.
Travel Bug Haley, at a table with 7 people, the average person is going to win over 14% of the hands, between 14 and 15% of the hands. And I would guess that she's won over 20% so far.
Yeah, for sure. Pair of queens on the board, no help to anybody right now. That's 7-8, looking like a potential flush draw. Pretty good for Nemesis, but the 4 going to help out Poetic Justice. Still hard to do much more than check.
So any Burke fans out there?
Ooh.
Anyone in the chat a friend of Burke's? Cheering him on?
Justice and Living going for a chop here with the full boat.
Yeah, they both got the 4. Nice river for Living to catch back up.
Full boat.
Next hand yours. I feel
Split
it.
pot.
Split
Feel it.
pot.
Full house.
This one? This one? All right.
Yeah.
Push
I'm
it.
not going anywhere.
Fold.
He already said, not going
I'm
anywhere.
not going anywhere.
There it is.
I love it. I love when a player is so pleased with their win, they don't even bother to swat away the all-in balloons that spawn. They're just like ready for the next hand.
Raise.
King
Burke
Queen
with
here
King
for
Queen.
VR
What's he going to do?
King.
Burke down to
a
64
call.
million. Ooh, going to call. Here we go. Burke going for it.
Call.
Interesting choice to call 4.5 with King Queen in a small blind, but let's see what the flop does for him.
Oh, why couldn't that come
Check.
out last time?
Yeah, I mean,
Player
if he's
check.
been paying attention to the table, the hands
Check.
that the Sharks have been raising, King
Return.
Queen is definitely
Check.
a very good
Check.
choice. Unfortunately
Player
for
check.
him, this board is very bad, and Josh just has
Ooh.
the hammer log on it with the nut flush now.
Bet.
Already was ahead, but look at poor Living. Look at Living. He already got cooler trips over trips, and now he's got second nut flush to nut flush. And when Josh just raises this, the fact that the board is paired could help him get away from it. It's possible,
Fold.
but it is only 30 million, so... Oh, man, Living, you are on a cooler.
The one card that could have possibly beat him in the entire deck in Poetic Justice's hand, and Poetic Justice grabs a very well done. Well done. A couple of slow
Listen,
hands here
you know
as well,
what?
looks
The
like.
real bonus
Yeah.
comes
Might be an
that
interesting
people
flop
sit
if we get
here and
there.
still play. It's easy to cut and run, right? It's
Call.
easy to double up and run. If you want to get your poker bones, you sit.
Fold.
Baza, let's get a table full of LCs this week. That's not good poker.
Player
What are you talking about? That's not what we want to see. There's no pressure on them when it's a bunch of them.
I'm in it for like the
You need the
excitement.
pressure. That's the excitement. That's the drama. You got these big stacks pressuring them. That's the
Got an
whole point of
open-ender for
it.
Poetic Justice and a gut shot for Travel Bug Haley.
Find it
God,
in.
if that 9 pops up, that'll be heartbreaking.
Oh wait,
for
did you
Justice.
say a gut shot? There's no gut shot. She's got 5-7.
Hello,
Check.
lovely.
5-7, not 6-7. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, no problem.
As the queen would say.
But they're checking.
Player check.
Josh just.
I don't know.
I would like to see a bet from Josh just there with the open ender on the flop.
Somebody
Oh, but
else
he
had
didn't want to
know
dunk bet. I
somebody
get it. He was
from,
waiting for her to bet. And
Yeah.
now she might
London
try to
last
throw in a
week,
bluff
and
here
said,
now that he's checked twice.
how The queen says hello.
Check.
Nope, no bluff. And the 7 comes on the river, and he's got a slightly better 7.
I said, okay.
Oh, interesting. Interesting here
Oh, wait,
from Poetic
no,
Justice.
No. What do you breathe?
Is he
And I
going to
said,
bet
"Breathe."
it, or is he going to...
And then he said, "What's on your head?" I
If
said,
he bets it, I
he
bet she
goes,
calls.
Where does a dragon live? And I'm like, in a cave.
Trying to
And
listen
he
to what
goes,
she
"Say all
says.
that together. I'm
Player
like,
bet.
She's telling a story about a
"Air-
dragon.
air
Yeah.
Cave?
So close. Yet so far.
And he's like,
Is that Brenna Lynn at
"It's
the
a
table
lair.
there?
It's a lair."
That is
Well,
at the
who
front.
says
Brenna Lynn with the
lair?
unicorn horn and the Korean
Oh,
flag.
they gave her
bandana.
wow. Astro just instantly throwing top pair away when D's Nuts bets. D's Nuts is a very similar player to Astro Kate. He's another somewhat tight player who's not going to do anything too crazy. So people are going to respect Astro and D's Nuts' bets when they make them. Nemesis seems similar to that as well so far. Same with Justice. All 4 of them are playing pretty
Call.
tight and, you know, in a way that where you should respect or, you know, give a lot of thought to their bets.
But he's so
Player
obsessed.
check.
And Haley is bluffing so much and taking down pots that she's actually one of the most profitable players on the table so far because these other players are letting her do it. And look at this flop.
I want them to make more bigger chips.
Wow. Wow.
Just
the
flopping it with
full
King 2
flop
offsuit.
For Poetic Justice. You know, I almost made fun of Justice for throwing away the 2s last hand, but holding out for something I'm going to say with a question mark better
Bet.
is going to end up good for him in this turn.
I think it should be
Oh,
pretty on
goodness.
the back.
Bachelorette Simi in the chat. If you guys want to say anything to Simi, there she is.
Fold.
She says she's done.
She's done with
1
her
a.m.
party at 1 a.m. Nice.
Fold.
I think it's day 1 of Simi's bachelorette
I'm just
party,
impressed
so a
that
1
you
a.m.
can still type.
That's a call.
A 1 a.m. end for day 1 of a bachelorette party.
Day
is
one.
Not too bad,
It's a
considering
3-day event.
It's a 2 or 3 day, yeah.
I think this is a one-night event, though.
That's what she said.
Wow, D's Nuts really married to the call. I love Poetic Justice's check there on the turn before the river. Really gorgeous to try and sucker D's in. We'll see what the bet is now to try and get some value out of D's Nuts, who must at this point know that Justice has something more than bottom pair.
15 million into 13 million. That's probably going to create a fold from D's. Josh is hoping that he has something stronger than he does.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Maybe
thinking
even
about
another
it, though.
king.
Let's it go. All right. It's
I
really
wonder if
hard to
we flip on
get
the other
a lot
fold.
of money out of a board when you flop it that hard. When it's over. However, it might have hidden itself in another one of the seats now. So we'll see where it went. The next time somebody busts, we'll just accuse the curse of having gone there.
It's the opposite of when a when a pitcher in baseball is having a perfect game, you can't say the phrase "perfect game." In a cursed seat, though, if you call it out, the curse quickly disappears.
Yeah, it's
and moves to another seat.
Like naming certain Shakespearean plays backstage
in the
at a
theater.
play.
That's right. That's right.
Check.
One player short of a family pot here is 6 players, all to the flop, and 3 hearts hitting. D's Nuts feels good about it, but look what Poetic Justice has.
Whatsoever. Couldn't even bluff my way out of that.
Player is all in.
Shit, man.
Wow, all in on ace high. And oh no, sorry, straight. Jesus, what am I saying?
Fold.
Moosers, you got to stop me when I'm about to say something dumb.
Oh, before you do it.
Yeah, if you could.
Okay,
please,
yeah, no
read my
problem.
mind.
Yeah, from now
When
on.
I'm like, oh, I was
now
like,
on.
wow, Poetic Justice.
You know, now you just
open to
given
the
me
flush there.
license to say, Creighton, stop. Hold on. All the time. Just accuse you of about to say something dumb anytime. You've given me that joke forever now.
Yep. As
These
I
nuts.
should.
Oh, he goes for it. Oh my gosh, just the king.
boy.
That is a very gambly gamble. That is the gambliest of gambles. Josh just has a
No equity.
hammer lock on this thing.
Best flush win.
He can only win by splitting with the 3-6 of hearts, and that's it.
The river.
Not just that, he could have split with the ace, any ace-3 combo.
Wow, he gets runner king.
It's
for
no
the
good.
trips. But it's no good against the straight. That is unfortunate. I'll tell you though, it's probably lucky that D's Nuts wasn't betting as that hand happened, because if you saw the king hit on the turn and then the king again on the river, and you hadn't already gone all in, you would have lost even more. So at least then he wasn't making
You
a
mean
bad
to
decision
like-
throughout the course.
I
Fold.
guess. He couldn't have lost any more, though. He went all in and lost.
Yeah,
That's a call.
He just,
I think
that was it. Man,
I think it would have been more painful.
the curse,
had he
yeah,
been betting.
definitely. To see all that equity and still not be
Here's the
good.
flop.
Oof.
See?
Check.
Oh,
Wow,
man.
that flop. Queens for Justice.
Bet.
I guess
Stupidest
Creighton, the
Fold.
curse
But on the table,
was just taking a second,
Fold.
taking a
Step-
breather, and then it heard its name and was like, oh, yeah, I'm still here. And then, boom.
The curse stepped away for a bathroom break and came back. Justice's Queen's going to do him good there. Takes down a little tiny $9 million pot.
Yeah, Josh just has had some good fortune of late. He's back up to 145 million. I believe he bought in for 100.
They sure will.
So if I'm correct, he's up 45 million right now. I believe Nemesis up 15 million. I think Astrocade is down a little bit, and Haley's up
Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thanks so
a
much.
lot, like
I can't wait to see
200
you
million, I
again.
think.
I'll play with you soon.
Looks like we may have a loose
All right.
cannon spot opening up.
Coops is going to take the money. Way to go, Coops. I'm very glad I met you. I'm glad you got on the table. Congrats if you hear this. Great
And
job,
good
Coops
play.
Arena.
Yeah, walks away with so his bankroll of 50 million. Of course, that's
All right,
after the 20 million
next
stake. So
round.
Coops walks away with about 30 million or so.
Come in,
That's
baby.
huge. That's awesome.
knocked him out.
Previous biggest pot, 1 million. So we know that's
Wow.
like a 20x of his bankroll right there. That's really good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, they're all
Beautiful.
freaking.
Or maybe a 5x. Who knows? He might be a really sensible player who,
The turn.
has built up to 10 or 20 million or something,
Dodging.
playing
Exactly.
at lower
Justice
stakes.
here, hoping for
gotta-
the open ender.
Player bets.
Could hit a queen to win as well.
Raise it up.
Haley not having it. She's saying, I know that you're on a draw and you're going to pay.
Call.
And he is going to
Lot of-
pay.
A lot of value in that mid pair for Haley.
Doesn't hit it. So, and that the top pair pairing makes Haley's 10 feel even stronger because definitely nothing changed from the turn.
Yeah,
She was either already losing or already winning.
exactly.
Casa Reina 113, welcome to the stream. And no, it is not real money. It is fake chips that people do spend a lot of real money to get in the game because it's such a great game. But not getting too crazy, but not getting pushed around either. Wow, we've had a very I would say today we've had a shortage of premium hands, wouldn't you, Creighton? We've not seen a lot of big pre-flop hands. Like we have a lot of hands like this where there's just 7 bad hands, like ones that most people wouldn't even raise unless they're on the button.
Fold.
Yeah, I think it does feel that way. I'm trying to think back to this like premium hands that we've seen. We saw a pair of aces that didn't get any value. Everybody folded out. We've seen Ace King a fair few times, including one hand where 2 players
Yeah, a
had
lot of
Ace
Ace
King,
Kings,
but again,
actually,
not
but-
a lot of value. But I think anytime we've seen a premium hand, I think you're right, we've seen fewer. And anytime we've seen one,
Return.
I think we haven't seen a lot of action, not a lot of hands to combat those.
Or you're like Brenna Lynn, who gets it all in and loses with the aces.
Oh, bless her
Player
heart.
check.
That's so sad. What, 3 hands in or something? Gets the
Yeah, it
pocket
wasn't
aces.
long. Poor Brenna.
All right, y'all. we
nothing you
got
can do.
25
Fold.
minutes.
Call.
No, especially when there was a pair of pocket jacks in there that were just inevitably going to hit that straight instead of the king jack diamonds.
That's the one. That's the hand right there.
All right.
I'll just watch it on your screen so we can take it
Here
away.
we go, guys.
Fold.
This is the last hand of the stream here.
Call. Call.
It's not
Fold.
taking away the... Let's do this
Call.
one more time.
The flop.
If you click your mouse
There it
off,
goes.
there we go. Yeah.
Check.
All right, so we got a flush draw on the flop here for Burke. We got just top pair for D's nuts. Not a lot else. I'm surprised this pot's going to get that big.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be interesting what happens here.
Player
Well,
check.
Travel Bug Haley is still in the hand, so obviously that pot's going to get pumped up just
Haley doing her thing, making a bluff here. Step aside, baby girl.
Call.
Poetic Justice,
love
deciding
you.
whether or not he wants to chase that flush. Decides to go for it with ace-queen.
That's a call.
4 players to the turn,
turn.
and there's the flush.
There's the flush on the turn.
Player
Not
And
the
now
river, my
Poetic
apologies.
Justice has the nut
Check.
flush draw, so he's going to feel
Check.
good about that. D's nuts still has top pair, and Haley still has nothing and is betting. Oh my God, she bet 125
Fold.
million. Just
Player
pure bluff
all
into
in.
3 other people. Definitely not something you want to do, guys. Especially when there's a draw on the board that just hit. That's a very bold play. Unfortunately for Haley, it's not going to be the right timing.
Fold.
Haley's about to see the bad news.
The river.
There it is.
All in for 56 million. The main pot is 151 million going to Burke. So our loose cannon Burke started at 20 million, now has 151 million. I hope you are leaving the table, sir. I hope
And
that you are. Thank you for catching that, Creighton.
And honorable mention, of course, to Poetic Justice there, who folded the ace of diamonds, which would have hit on the river. Real shame there.
Yeah.
But also leaving the table with a fairly decent bankroll, starting I think at 100, ending up at 115. So plays for 2 hours, only wins 15 million, but stays afloat. Not bad from our shark.
Yeah, great stream.